Docker Registry. In this particular session, I am going to show you how we can push our images from local hard disk store to a central store. And the very purpose of doing that is distributing our applications to others. So from my machine, I'm going to push the image to Docker Registry, and from Docker Registry, it is then going to be pulled on other machines for creating containers. So what are the different Docker registries available? Yes, we have got Docker Hub, maintained by Docker as an organization itself. Then we have got private registry, which we can maintain within our organization, which is exclusively to us. We also have private registries available through cloud vendors, which is like Azure, AWS, and so on. So here in this module, I am going to show you how we can use private registry from Azure also. Let's first begin with Docker Hub. Now Docker Hub is basically a central repository of images through which we can share our images with others. So first thing you'll have to do for using Docker Hub is go to hub.docker.com and over there create your account. Provide a Docker ID, your email address and some password. To agree to the terms, click on sign on, and once you are signed in, you are going to have a page like this. Right now my Docker registry is completely empty. I don't have any repositories available. You see, there is nothing here, just the option create repository, and there are no repositories available. I am supposed to push my image into Docker Hub. So for this, we will have to log in. We'll have to provide username and password and log into Docker Hub. And once we logged in, we have to simply use the command docker image push, and followed by that we are supposed to use the name and the repository name. This is supposed to be the username / repository name. That's the standard naming convention which is followed, because username is guaranteed to be unique. So I have already created an account by name Sandeep Soni, and under that account I want to publish my IS demo, which is the repository name. Let me demonstrate this with an example. So I go to the command prompt. I have multi-container demo here, and that has created two images. The two images I have is Hello Web App and EMP Web API. These two images I would like to push it into Docker Hub. So first thing I'll say is Docker login. I am already logged in because I have provided my credential earlier. If you are doing it for the first time, it will ask you to provide username and password. And now to push it, simple command docker push and give the image name. And you see, it is preparing to push the image into the Docker Hub. Why so many images? Actually, these are all different layers of images, on top of which our image is going to be built. And that's it. Total 3.4 MB has been published. Likewise, I should also publish EMP Web API. Now, after pushing the images onto the Docker Hub, on any machine these can be downloaded. Unless I have deleted, you can also use docker pull Sandeep Soni / Hello Web App and get them. Why? Because the Docker Hub account which I created is a free account, and in free account we can only create public images. If you want to create a private image, you'll have to register with Docker and you'll have to buy a subscription for private image. So go to the repository, go to settings, and here you'll have a provision to make private. And it clearly says private repositories are only available to you or members of your organization. you are using 0 of one private repository. That means Docker Hub is giving you provision of only one private repository. So yes, you can make it as private. As a confirmation, it's asking me to provide the name. So this is now a private registry. Implies what? Unless somebody logs on to the Docker Hub, they cannot pull this image on their local machine. Only authenticated users from my organization can use it. And the whole organization can be managed from here. I would leave it to you for trying all these options. Done. Both the images are pushed. And of course now, if you want, you can actually remove the images. See, deleted. EMP Web API, delete it. Both the images are now not available. Both of them got deleted. So after the images are deleted, we can now execute docker run, let's say -p, and if I give unable to find image locally, that is important. It was not able to find the image locally, hence it is pulling it from the Docker Hub registry to which you have already logged on to. And done. We are almost done. Likewise, you can also download Sandeep Soni /EMP Web API, and once done, you can run the application locally. So it is so easy to distribute applications using Docker Hub. You are just pushing it into the Docker Hub and you are pulling it from the Docker Hub and over. And you can push it from one machine, you can pull it on the other machine. Unless your Docker Hub has a private registry, you don't even need to log in. I mean the private repository, you don't even need to log in. Only if your repository is public, only if your repository is private, you need to actually log in. Yes, to run this application, I have to also execute the other image. So I start one more container instance, docker pull EMP Web API, even that will be pulled. And after this, I can go to the browser. Before that, -p, now what you should have noted is, in the earlier case, I did not use pull. I directly executed run. And run is smart enough. If it is not finding the image locally, automatically it is going to pull it from the registry. Or else you can explicitly pull and then execute. It's your choice. So now just say localhost 8080/home/get employees, and we should get some output. Implies both the images are instantiated. Something went wrong. And I'm pretty sure what went wrong is I did not mention at the time of starting this, I did not mention the environmental variables which were required. So yes, we can stop this. But even before I run Docker Hub EMP Web Docker Hub Hello Web App, I need to first find out what is the IP of the new image which got created by EMP Web API. So yes, Docker PS. We know this is the image which got created. Copy the image name and you can say docker inspect and we know the IP here. So this is the IP of the EMP Web API, and that I have to mention at the time of creating the Docker run command -p. I want to run on port number 80 8080 map to 80, and I give the environmental variable values, which are service host is equal to the IP which we have got earlier and the service port which I know is 80, and give slash hello web app. Because we have already given, something went wrong. Yeah, for the second environmental variable also we should give -e. Once we see that it is started, I can go to localhost port number 8080 and see the output. Localhost 8080, we get the default page. Then we should go to home/get employees, and that's it. We got the employee details. So one container instance is able to talk to the other container, but that is not important. What is important, which I have covered in this particular topic, is Docker pull and Docker push commands, which are pushing and pulling the images from and to the Docker registry, the Docker hub. And because of its simplicity only, Docker has become so popular. For distributing applications, you have to hardly execute anything. There is no lengthy procedure, and it has become a favorite way of distributing applications in the CI/CD model also. Continuous integration and continuous deployment models used by DevOps guys. That's it. Thank you.